Hey y'all, welcome back. This is my budget update for the end of June edition. My budget is $75 a month. If I stay under budget, any excess rolls over. Last month I had $1.60 I was under budget by $1.60, so my budget this month was $76.60. I went over budget this month by about $40 because I bought slightly impulsively and then ran out of a bunch of things all at once. So there's that. So according to my rules, if I stay under budget, any excess rolls over. So I feel like the same should be true if I go over budget. So I will take $40 out of next month's budget. And so that will mean that next month, I'll have about $30 worth of budget. I had a candle on top of my notes, so got my notes, hang on. For the official number, so officially next month I will have $38.90 because I was over budget by almost $40. So with all that said, let's get into what I actually got. So part of what I got was there was a Poshmark shop that had a 5 lots for $25. And I was in the market for a couple of things, so I took part in that. So they had these 2 sample size Ulta Beauty tinted eye primers. So that was one. And then because I was about to run out of eye primer and it was $5. Then I also got the Fresh Umbrian Clay Purifying Mask. Camera's over here. Yeah, because I wanted sort of an intense face mask thing. So I got that, and also the Ole Henriksen Cold Plunge Pore Mask, which is a sample size as well. So those were 3 lots, and then number 4 out of the 5 is the Cargo Blush in Laguna, which was new in box. It's a really pretty kind of bright color, which you can go very light with. Yeah, so there's that. So I can go very light with that, and I really like that color. Little too orange for what I usually go for, but it's fine. And then lot number 5, which in retrospect was probably the dumb one, was a lot of 2 NYX glosses, and they're dumb because as soon as I got them, I remembered why I don't like wearing lip gloss. They're both a little patchy, they taste great, and one is in the shade Ginger Snap and one is in the shade Blueberry Tart. This one is the Intense Gloss, and then this one's just the regular gloss, because I thought it would be able to, add some sort of variety to the kinds of lip products I used, forgetting that I don't like lip gloss because it is sticky and it makes my mouth look weird. And also, Ginger Snap is kind of makes me look wash out. Instead of being My Lips But Better, it's more of a My Lips But Something Went Slightly Wrong. And as opposed to Blueberry Tart, which is blue, so it's not supposed to look like normal lip colors. Ginger Snap kind of is. And I don't want to sell along anything that was any lip products that I've opened and put on my mouth. And part of the reason I was okay initially buying those was because they were both new with the plastic still on. But yeah, so I might declutter Ginger Snap. I might keep along Blueberry Tart just because it's an out there sort of color, and it has 18 months on it. So that's that. So that's those. So all of those were $25 on Poshmark, and then I still have a Sephora gift card that I'm trying to run out, and I also ran out of my Milani Plum Rose lipstick, and I wanted to try something else. So the Fenty Mademoiselle lipsticks were on sale, so I got the shade Thick with 2 C's, which is very similar to Plum Rose, but a little ashy on me. I like the formula otherwise though. It's just not quite my color, but whatever. But I'm not gonna have any trouble using that up before I find a new neutral lipstick. So yeah, there's that. So that was on sale. I don't know if I would necessarily pay full price for it though, because it comes with about half as much product as a regular bullet lipstick does. I mean, there's something to say for that because it takes forever to go through a regular bullet lipstick, but I'm glad I got it for $13 and not $18. But yeah, and then because I used up my last perfume in that same order, I also got the Ellis Brooklyn Chronicle mini perfume sample sets. I've used about half of these. I've used up about half, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 7, and and I've used plenty on the last 3. So in here are Fable, Raven, Rose with 2 R's, Myth, Rives, Sci-Fi, and Fawn. And I like something like this because it's $22, but you get a good sampler, and each of those is like 2 or 3 days worth, so it's good sort of sample to see everything. I really liked Fable, Rose, and Sci-Fi. I am ambivalent on Myth and Fawn, and then I didn't like Raven or Rives. But yeah, so it was good to sort of narrow down what the notes in each of those were, what sort of notes I would or wouldn't like. But yeah, so that's that. And then this was another impulse purchase because I had a coupon at CVS. Probably could have done without either of those, but this is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Eyeliner in the shade Cobalt. It's what I have on the corners of my eyes right now. I'm gonna do a little swatch thing. It's not the best eyeliner I've ever had. It's a really great color though. It is a little dry, so do keep that in mind. But again, I had a coupon, and yeah, and I was looking for a colorful eyeliner. And so I also got the colorful CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cream Blush, which is hard to say, in the shade Sweet Innocence, which is a bright, peaky sort of color. I really like that it has sort of shimmer built into it that still does kind of blend out a little bit, and it's closer to how I actually blush. It's right there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but yeah. But I do like it. I don't regret necessarily getting it. I just didn't need 2 new blushes in the same month. And then around the 15th, 18th, something like that, I started running out of things. I did not realize how far along my face wash was, and I was having issues with my e.l.f. mascara started flaking, getting in my eyes, and I needed a new moisturizer as well because I was running out. And so Pacifica was having a buy one get one half off, and I really like the Pacifica face washes. It's a really great intersection of price and amount, because not a lot of face washes come in 5-ounce containers, and let alone for $10. And so I've used Pacifica face washes for ages, and so I got 2 because I won't need face wash for the rest of the year. This one is the kale one because I've been having really oily skin lately, and then this one is the rose kombucha one, which is for all skin types. But yeah, so that was, I sprang for it just because it's something that I know I'm going to use and use up, and that they all work with my skin really well. So there's that, and then I got the Beauty Bakery icing mascara, which I really like. It's more than I would usually spend on mascara, but I don't know, I just really needed a new one, and it's a Black-owned brand, and I'm trying to be more ethical and diverse in my things and places that I buy from. And I also got the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors with hyaluronic acid because it's a good deal and I needed a moisturizer. So there's that. So that's, oh yeah, and restrictions are being lifted a little bit in my area. So I went to hang out with a friend, and she got me a candle as a very belated birthday gift because we had not been able to see each other since March. But yeah, so we were going around with masks and got candles. So yeah, so that's that. So that's everything I got in June. I have $38 next month because I went over this month. Most of the things that I got were, or not most, a lot of the things that I got were replacements for at least a few months out. I'm not going to need a face wash for the end until towards the end of the year, most likely. I'm not going to need eye primer until at least August. I don't need any new blush for the rest of the year. I think I'm set on the blush front. I only ever anticipated getting 1 or 2 blushes this year, so I definitely do not need any more. I think I have enough variety in formats and things like that. Formats and colors. Yeah, the only thing I anticipate maybe getting is maybe a perfume and maybe some, what was I gonna say? Maybe a neutral lipstick, depending on how fast the Fenty Beauty one goes. And maybe a colorful eyeliner or a brown eyeliner because I used up my NYX one. So I might get 1 eyeliner and 1 perfume next month, but I'm pretty much set on that front as well. And then sort of thinking, just as doing some sort of tally ups and looking back on what I've kept track of over the course of the first half of the year. And what I've noticed is that there's some months where I buy a whole bunch of stuff, just like by number, maybe not by price, but by number. And then there's some months where I buy a lot, and some months where I buy a little. Like there was, if we're counting the Ellis Brooklyn perfumes, there's 7 in there, so counting each of those as 1. I had 22 items come in this month. Last month I had 10. The month before I had 21. So that was in April. In March I had 8 come in. In February I had 12. In January I had 9 items come in. So it's a sort of, especially now that it's after my birthday, it's very, wait, no, it was 22 in April. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's now that it's not my birthday and there's not a lot of like gift giving items, events, whatever. I would spend more of my own money on bringing new, fun, shiny things in. And I think that's a big thing for me, is having new, fun, shiny things. And that usually keeps me for 6 to 8 weeks or whatever, buying things, and then that usually tides me over for 6 to 8 weeks, and then it's like, oh, this is all boring, or I run out of stuff or whatever. So I do need to figure out how to bring new, fun, shiny things into my life without spending a whole bunch of money on it. So I'm trying to, I should write more, I should knit more, I should, even though knitting more means I, at some point, will buy more yarn. And I do have my eye on some stuff for when I do finish up a few things. However, until then, I don't want to bring in anything new until I zero out a few more categories. And what I mean by that is that I don't want to bring any new perfumes in till I use up those last 3 perfume samples. I don't want to bring any new mascara in until the Beauty Bakery one is done. I don't need any new eye primer until I use these other 2. And most categories I have right now have 1 to 3 items that will take a while before I will need to spend any new money. So hopefully I will be able to not spend any money, or very little, in July, and hopefully I'll be able to keep that no-buy momentum going through the second half of the year. And I do want to sort of reduce the number of items of things that I have in my life, because I have quite a lot. Now that I've realized I've been sitting in my room for however many months, 3-4 months now. Now that I've been sort of in my room, I've realized I have a lot of stuff that I don't use as much as I would like. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Black Lives Matter. Black lives continue to matter. I want to diversify my spending, even during sort of no low-buy stuff. As I move to get replacements, I want to diversify where I get my replacements. Yeah. There's also a few really cool local indie yarn dyers that are run by women of color that I want to support once I have the budget and the project for them. Neighborhood Fiber Company is local-ish to me. I think they're based 2 hours north-ish of me, which is really cool, and they have at least one colorway that's named after my neighborhood, so might get that once I have a good project for it. And then there's another company that's based out of the college town I went to, which is 2 hours in the other direction. So there's definitely places where I can buy and I want to buy once I have more of the flexible budget to do so. And I will be keeping eyes out for all of those. So with all that said, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!